Yo, what's up, guys? Today I just wanted to talk about why, if you feel like you failed your entire 20s, don't panic, be grateful because actually it's the key to success. Failing is the best thing you could ever do for yourself because when you're failing your 20s, you're learning the skills and you're learning the things that you need to be successful later in life. When you hit your 30s, the lessons that you've learned in your 20s, you're going to be able to maneuver them smoothly. You're going to walk. You're going to feel very confident in things that you do because you've already experienced it in your 20s. And you failed it multiple times, you're probably failing in your 20s. But in your 30s, things that you failed, it's going to trump when you do them because now you're coming at it from a different angle and perspective. And especially when it comes to success and wealth, well, now that you failed in your 20s at multiple different businesses, maybe you dropped out of school multiple times and you've tried and you went back and you tried again. Well, now that business that you try again in your 30s, you understand how it's going to work. You understand the ins and outs. You know how to speak to customers. You know how to acquire customers. You know the right places to put your money. You know the correct program and course that you have to take now in school. You know the correct friends that you want to hang around with. You know the correct places that you need to be around. You don't need to be in the nightclubs anymore. You don't want to be at the parties in the middle of the night anymore. You know 10 o'clock is when you're dipping off. That's when you're calling it because you know nothing good happens after 10 o'clock. So you're cutting. And that's what you're going to learn in your 20s. So if you feel like you're failing and you're behind, like, I don't have much money saved up. I just got fired from this job. I just got fired from that job. I'm having my first kid. Things aren't working out. I got to move back home with parents. Well, you have to realize that that's all a part of the whole entire thing called life. When you're in your 20s, you're moving with precision, but you're lacking the guidance that's needed. But you're trying to move with precision and you're failing and you're wondering why like things aren't working out for me. Like I can never afford a home. Like I can never save up. Every time I save, I gotta go and spend so much more money on groceries. And all my money's gone for the week. Things aren't looking good. I'm trying, I'm in this trade and I'm so tired. I'm coming home at night and I'm not learning as much. Like it doesn't seem like I'm making any improvements. I'm not making any gains. I'm doing an electrician trade. I'm doing a plumbing trade, and it's just every day it's the same grind. I'm tired, but 5 years down the line, now you become a professional. You become a journeyman. You become a master plumber. You become a master at your craft. You become amazing barber. You become an amazing whatever skill that you decide to do in your 20s. If you just stick it out and stay with it for the long term, you become amazing at it within 5 years. Within 10 years, you become a master. Now, next thing you know, you're charging the prices that you want to charge. You're not working for a little bit of money, you're working for a lot of money now, but you just stuck with it and you embrace the failures. Like, we look at a lot of this Instagram stuff and we see a lot of people our age having the time of their life, riding around in Lamborghinis, going here and there, traveling back and forth. Even like people who we know and are friends with, on Instagram, it seems like they're having the greatest time of their life, posting the best stories. Especially if you have social media, you're gonna see this constantly. But in real life, it's a different story. This is not real life is different from social media, and a lot of people are thinking like we should be at this certain level in our 20s, but it doesn't work like that. Like how it works is that you're gonna continue to fail, 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 have a little bit of success, fail, 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 fail some more, have a little bit more success, and then fail, fail, fail some more, and then that's when the compound gains finally come together, and you see a big change and a big difference. Like even when it comes to you wanting to work out and lose weight, gain muscle, be a professional at the yoga classes that you're going to. Well, at first it's gonna suck and you're gonna fail and you're not gonna have a workout routine. You're gonna go to the gym. You're not gonna look like you know half of what you're doing. There's gonna be a bunch of people who already have routines who've been there for months and who've been there for years who are consistent and have workout routines, and you go in there, you have no idea, you're scared, so many different things. But after 2 3 years go by, you failed so much. You know, maybe you accidentally injure yourself, you know, on that journey, but you learn from that injury that, okay, maybe I should stretch before I exercise, maybe I need to warm up before I exercise, and that's what you do now. And now in 2 3 years you're that professional, and then you see another person who comes in the gym, they're not as good as you and they're beginning. Well, now you can offer your services and you can charge them, hey, I can be a trainer, I can be your trainer, this is my prices, this is the results I got, etc., etc. So now not only are you good, but now you can also monetize ways, you can monetize your skills. And the people who use their 20s and waste it and end up to be in their 30s and are still not where they want to be, well, that's still okay, because your 30s as well is another learning opportunity. Your entire life is a learning opportunity. But the 20s, it should set you up to a level where you fail so much that you're in your 30s with more failures in your 20s, that you're able to be in your 30s and you're maneuvering through it a lot more easily, because you failed so much in your 20s. So I think we need to embrace failure more in our 20s and keep on failing at every single thing we do, but taking the lessons and learning them, so when we get to our 30s we understand. Like the biggest failure I think a lot of people make is not being financially intelligent in their 20s, like not understanding how money works, not understanding how taxes work, not understanding on investing in index funds, not understanding on how to double their money, not putting their money to use, so, and not taking advantage of the compound effect. Because 10 years ago, if you put $100 into an index fund, it would be at maybe 300 400. That's a 3x. So just imagine if your dollar cost averaging into a smart investment that you studied and did your research on, and you're not just taking advice from random people. You know, that's a skill set that you can definitely take advantage of when you're young. And that's the best thing that you could do, is to be financially literate. Because finances, that's the number one thing that goes on in this world, is we are literally run off money. We have to pay rent, we have to buy food, we have to buy water, we have to be able to have somewhere to sleep. We want to enjoy our life. It takes money. So that's one of the number one things to do. Getting a financial book, you know, even just for the regular person, just start with that book. What's that book called? The Millionaire Next Door. I think it was written by Robert Kiyosaki, or The Millionaire Next Door. I think that's what it was called. Start with that book, or I think it was The Richest Man in Babylon. One of those. Start with both of them, and give them a read, and then after whatever you get out of it, try to read more, dive more deeper into it, and then also take care of your health when you're young, because right now a lot of young people, they're doing whatever they want, drinking, you know, doing whatever, like eating terrible foods that's not gonna do nothing for your body, like waking up in the morning and cracking a Sprite can. Like how are you waking up in the morning and you're cracking a Sprite can, and then you're going on about your day eating French fries and just the worst type of food that's just clogging your arteries and doing the worst thing for your, they're just terrible foods. Like eat those foods like once a week, but you shouldn't be in your like mid to late 20s just destroying your body, because you're gonna live a long life. You're gonna be here for a while, you know. You're not gonna be here for the next 5 to 10 years. We all live pretty long lives. So don't you want to be driving the best vehicle if you're going to be living that life, and the vehicle is your body? So like take care of your health, like look into that. Go to the gym, get a gym membership today. Like if you don't have a gym membership, get one today, or at least get a couple of gym equipment or items that you could do a 10-minute cardio session at home to take care of your health. That's an important thing when it comes to wealth, is like your health and your finances are the biggest things in your 20s especially. And on top of that, your friendships. Make sure that to be honest, hang out by yourself for a little while. Like stop trying to hang around so many people. Like hang out by yourself for at least a couple of weeks and just see the peace of mind that you get, the clarity and the benefits of just understanding yourself, just so you can maneuver better in life. You understand yourself, so now when you go around other people, you understand things that you like and things that you don't like. You're not just influenced by everybody else. So guys, if you feel like you're failing in your 20s, keep failing, embrace it and learn the lessons on those failures. And that's like the best thing you do in your 20s. And just keep on going. Subscribe. Talk to y'all later.